Now I'm gonna test this out. Now keep in mind that I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about mine. JK. What's up? It is your Chic Mortgage Millennial coming to you with a video about some mortgage things. Now I feel like it's been a minute since I made a video. Thanks so much for your patience. As you all know, I am a mortgage loan originator and this year has been very busy. So I wanted to come and make a video for you all before the holidays and I'm excited. All right, so I must say first and foremost, thank you so much to everyone who has watched my videos. I really appreciate all of the love and support. My goal was always to educate you all about mortgages and the mortgage process. I know that you could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. So I must say thank you. All right, so today I am going to do a video. It's gonna be about emails because we receive a lot of emails as a mortgage loan originator. Per my last email, we don't really say that because at this point, if you say per my last email, it means you have attitude. But in my mind, I wanna say per my last email, if you followed the instructions, if you read my last email, all of those fun things. So I wanted to go through my work phone to show you all some emails that I received that I just thought were really funny. So we're gonna go through that and you'll be able to see insight on day-to-day life as a loan officer and some of the things that we deal with. So one of the most popular emails that I feel that we get is either about updates on the appraisal or can we close tomorrow? Are we still closing? Are we still closing? Are we still closing? Are we still closing? And I just think it's so crazy. So the first one, this one, it's just so interesting. It's like when you keep people updated throughout the process, they will still ask the same questions over and over and over. This email was basically about repairs. The appraisal required repairs to be completed and the appraiser has to go back out and schedule, go back out and re-inspect the property. We, the lender, the loan officer, we have to communicate with the appraiser through the appraisal management company. Again, we cannot call the appraiser and say, hey, what's up, appraiser? How you doing? I need you to do this real fast. You know, we have a relationship. Go ahead and work that out for me. We cannot do that. And they used to be able to do that before all of these different guidelines took effect. Let's say maybe 2018, not 2018, longer than that, 2008, around that time. There were many changes. And one of the changes were that we are not able to communicate directly with the appraiser. We can also not select an appraiser. The appraiser has to be selected through the appraisal management company. In many cases, people are asking us for updates. We have to go to the appraisal management company who will then reach out to the appraiser, right? We can't get on the appraiser's nerves like you all get on. Not gonna say I'll get on our nerves, but we can't get on the appraiser like you all get on us. We cannot email them, we cannot call them. So most of the time you all just blow up the loan officer for updates on your appraisal, which is fine because that's what we signed up for, right? Okay, so they said the repairs have been completed. Are we able to close tomorrow? Well, it's not kind of how that works. Now that the repairs are complete, we have to schedule a re-inspection through the appraisal management company. But I let them know once we receive notification from the appraiser that this has been assigned, we will get a due date. Of course, the appraiser is going to know the closing date. They'll know that this is a sense of urgency issue, but the appraisal re-inspection has to be scheduled with the appraisal management company. So being that, well, the first initial email said, hey, the repairs are going to be done this morning or tomorrow morning. Can the appraiser go out and inspect it in the afternoon? We could try, right? You know, we have to communicate through the appraisal management company, but keep in mind, I just want everybody to understand, whenever there's a third party involved, we have no control over the turnaround time with that appraiser. I was about to say something else, but we'll just continue on that. So reach out to the appraisal management company. They're like, okay, well, we're gonna contact the appraiser and and we'll follow up with you. Sometimes they'll call on three-way, like click over and then give us a response right then, but the appraiser didn't answer because it's right before the holidays. I know no one cares if it's right before the holiday, but I'm sure the appraiser is busy trying to knock out these appraisals, trying to knock out everything before the holiday. So I already know that this is about to be fun. That was on Friday. And we let them know. The appraiser said that they will try to re-inspect early next week and that they were going to get back to us with an actual date. Okay, that was Friday. Monday rolls around, of course, at 8 a.m. Hey, just wanted to know if, the appraiser, just wanted to know if the appraiser was able to re-inspect the property or schedule re-inspection. No, not over the weekend. Unfortunately, the appraiser was not able to re-inspect the property, but let me call again to try to see what we can work out. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is I'm not going to give you all the spill. Long story short, finally when we spoke with the appraiser was able to say that they can re-inspect the property on Wednesday before the holiday, and that they would try to provide same day appraisal report. But with that, on Wednesday, that is Wednesday before the holiday, so we are closed on Thursday and Friday, so they probably won't be able to close until Monday. But I just want you all to understand that when it comes to communicating with the appraiser, I would like to say our turnaround times for appraisals are not bad. And honestly, if you think about it, with the appraiser, the repairs are complete on Friday and the appraiser says that they can re-inspect on Wednesday. That's not necessarily a bad turnaround time, but we know you all want to close yesterday. And it's unfortunate that the repairs were required, but do you know the amount of emails that I received in between Friday and the re-inspection being scheduled for Wednesday? You don't know. My thing is the amount of emails that I receive in reference to the appraisal being scheduled, being complete, being this. Is there any way they could do it sooner? Is there any way this? Is there any way that? Can we da 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 da? Can we do that? Can we do that? Can we still this? And can we blah 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 blah? Can we blah 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 blah? The amount of emails are ridiculous. So you can only imagine like my face now every time I see something about this issue. Look at my email. Hey, do you think that we could do this? Hey, do you think that we could do this? Hey, do you think we could do it? I had one, this is another story, but I had one, was it a listing agent? It was a buyer's agent. Buyer's agent, the appraisal was scheduled. First of all, when the appraisal is done, many people think that like we're supposed to get the report like in 5 minutes after the appraiser leaves the property. So people get very anxious and they're like, hey, the property was re-inspected. Can we get an update on the appraisal? Can we get an update on the appraisal? Can we get an update on the appraisal? Over and over and over. The appraisal report, if anybody has seen an appraisal report, it is like 30 pages plus long, sometimes more detailed than that, depending on if it's a primary residence, if it's a investment property. Like the appraiser has to identify all of these things. The appraiser has to provide comps. There's been situations where the appraiser has to work with the listing agent to find comps because of the uniqueness of the property. That can cause a delay of a day or two. The appraiser has a pretty decent job, and people really think or do not take into consideration the importance of the appraisal and what is going on. And I just want people to have patience when it comes to the appraisal. Can we just have patience? Can we just allow for the process to happen? Let's say if the mortgage process is on average 30 days, we'll just say 30 days, and the appraisal is done by the 15th day. A lot of people do 21-day appraisal contingency. Let's just stick with 21 days. At the 15th day of the 21-day contingency, which that means the person has this amount of time for the appraisal to come back to renegotiate all of those fun things, allow the process to happen. Like, you all email so much about the appraisal. It's just like, I know we're anxious, but if I could count Did the appraisal come in? Is there an update on the appraisal? Is there an update on the appraisal? When you have, typically we provide you all with a due date in the beginning of the process as to when the appraiser says that they will have the appraisal back. Not only do they do that, they literally, when they pick up the project, most of the time they will say, okay, great. The appraisal report will be due on this date. The due date and the scheduling date is totally different. It's different, okay? They're saying, hey, we are going to give you the report by this date. When you find out that the property has been inspected, you do not have to ask us for updates on the appraisal every hour up until the appraisal report is delivered. It gets kind of sickening. The listing agent, the buyer, the buyer's agent, everybody's just like, did the appraisal come in? 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 Is there an update on the appraisal? Is there an update on the appraisal? Is there an update? I said that this video was going to be about emails, but I mean, y'all are killing me with this whole appraisal thing. Did the appraisal come in? Did the appraisal come in? Did the appraisal come in? It's like every time, and because we are working with so many different people at the same time, it can get very overwhelming. Because you'll have 132 people asking you for different properties, did the appraisal come in? You'll get a call. This is when the listing agents get in their bag and start calling, because, you know, they've talked to the appraiser, they've met with the appraiser, all of those fun things. I've even had listing agents go out there while the appraiser is doing the appraisal, and you can tell, because sometimes people will have conversations about the property beforehand, and they'll be kind of nervous saying, hey, I think this property is going to need repairs. And you just come in, everybody's crossing their fingers, asking for updates on the appraisal, because they're just waiting for the appraiser to make the appraisal subject to repairs. And then the appraisal comes in as is, and you're just like, you was getting on that appraiser's nerves, weren't you? Because we can't talk to the appraiser, but the appraiser has to schedule the reinspection, typically with the listing agent who does it with the seller. But, you know, y'all will just bug and get on people. That does not help. Doesn't help. It doesn't help move the process along any faster. Intimidation really doesn't help, things like that. But it's just very interesting. Those appraisal emails are definitely the most emails that I probably get. But other emails that are really funny, I think it's funny when, let's say, myself and the underwriter, we are not going back and forth, but let's say they have a crazy condition and I'm just like, why are you doing this? Do we really need this? I might pull a guideline and be like, okay, well, based on this guideline, it looks like this should be fine, that you can accept this or you can remove this. Or it does happen where we are able to combat different conditions for our buyers. Y'all don't know, we fight behind the scenes. So those are always fun emails, because sometimes we have to CC people on those emails, because the underwriters, they can sometimes get in their bag, basically like, you know, hey, I'm head honcho and I said what I said and I said what I said. And I might be like, okay, well, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, Patty Mac said this, so, and then we'll just do that stare off at each other, you know, like, yeah, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? And they'll be like, all right, well, I'll drop this condition. And you're like, oh yeah, I won. I know the guidelines. Ooh, ooh. Those emails are always fun, because I can just envision the whole world that's on the emails just like, well, who's gonna win this one? And I go to bat for my clients, so it is so funny. But I hate it when it gets to that point, but sometimes it gets to the point where you have to CC everybody, the regional, the area, the manager of the manager, the underwriter manager, the operations manager, and you just be like, your move, Chess, your move. And those are always fun emails. I was laughing with my sister, and I was telling her about a situation, because she's in the mortgage industry too. I was telling her about a situation where the underwriter and myself, we were going back and forth. You know, she pushes a guideline to me, I push one to her back, because I'm trying to get this clear to close. And the underwriter was like, well, such and such and such and such, I'm gonna need a CBR, an updated CBR. And I'm just like, you lost me. Like, we've been going back and forth for days, and she says CBR, so I'm just like, what is CBR? At this point, y'all get on my nerves because I have no idea what y'all are talking about. What is a CBR? So I just gave in, you know, it's 150 people CC'd on this, and I was just like, well, I don't know what CBR is, but I'll just ask someone and I'll get back with you. Because sometimes you just have to tell the truth. Like, at this point, I don't know what you're talking about. What is a CBR? And it was so funny because the underwriting manager messaged me and she was like, yeah, I was a little confused too. I didn't know what a CBR is. And I'm just like, the underwriter was like, CBR, Credit Bureau Report. Honey, don't nobody say CBR. Like, what is CBR? That is not a real acronym. Like, I'm literally Googling CBR because I'm the queen of Google. Most of the time, you can Google a lot of this information to help you go back and forth with the underwriter. You can Google Fannie Mae guidelines and all of that type of stuff. But I'm just like, CBR? Honey, well, I guess we just won't close then because I don't even know what CBR is. Like, CBR, look, I see cord blood registry. I saw something else that said something about California something. I'm just like, CBR, what is CBR? Credit Bureau Report. Nobody says that, ma'am. Just say credit report and stop playing so we can get this clear to close. Thank you. But that is what we deal with. It's just so crazy. You really have to be a mortgage ontologist sometimes to go back and forth on these emails. Because most of the time, maybe all of the time, I'm literally the only one of my kind. So I really have to just be on my stuff, you know? And I am most of the time. But that was a funny email, CBR. It's like, at this point, just deny the loan because I really don't even know what you're talking about. What's another funny email? Oh, another good email that I always love is when people ask for an update on their application. It doesn't matter how many times I tell buyers, once I receive your completed application and all of the requested documents, I will follow up with you within blah, 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 right? I just don't know why. And I don't think it will ever be resolved ever, 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 ever. Clients do not understand completed application and documents. For some reason, it does not matter. They will want to update on their application without sending their documents. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't review pre-approvals without your documents, as should every single loan officer out there. You want to know why? Because most of the time, buyers, home buyers, they do not complete the application to accuracy. That means we have to go through, reevaluate everything, recalculate their income, you know, just do all of these things, make sure that the assets that they put on the application, we actually have documentation for, and they're not saying that they have $20,000 that's up under their mattress, and then we need to tell them, well, you need to season those funds and blah, 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 blah. You know, just all of these things. I cannot give you a pre-approval letter if I have not verified your current situation. You can complete an application for anything, but it's not accurate if I don't have your documents. And so people want a step-by-step process. Like, as soon as you complete an application, I'm supposed to be like, okay, let me calculate based on this. Okay, now that I got your pay stub, let me recalculate based on this. Okay, well, now that I got your assets, let me recalculate. Nobody's going back and forth. I do not. It's complicated enough trying to get some of your stuff situated, right? A pre-approval, once we have all of your documents and a completed application, it really takes no time. It's almost like muscle memory at this point, you know? I can check and see what I need, make sure everything's good. We're in DU, okay, DU, we're cool. You say, okay, approve eligible, that's what I like to see. Here's your pre-approval letter. But for some reason, you all just feel like, okay, well, can you tell me at least where it is right now? Can you, Well, when I got pre-approved with another buyer, they didn't ask for all of my documents. Okay, well, good luck. Good luck on that. You know what I'm saying? That is why people run into situations, especially with new construction and these preferred lenders, where they lose their earnest money because something popped up. There was something with income. You know, they never give you the straight facts. If your loan has ever fallen apart, or if you ever experience a loan fall apart, they're going to try to figure out a way to blame it on you. But most of the time it has to do with, now that we've seen this new document, or now that we've seen this item, we must reevaluate, we must restructure. So I try to do everything that I can to avoid restructures at all costs. And if you just give me all of your documents and a completed application, then I can give you an update. You won't go under contract and not really qualify. Oh my goodness, maybe I'm trying to help save you money. Maybe I'm trying to make sure that you don't lose your earnest money. Maybe I'm not trying to look bad, because guess what? If my loans fall apart and are constantly falling apart, no one's gonna wanna give me business. If they look at me and say, oh my goodness, she can't close my deals, all of my clients. No, that is not the case. One band, one sound, and no man will be left behind if they do what I tell them to do. I would like to say, hey guys, I have not lost one deal this year, and probably last year. Well, there was one last year, but we're not gonna talk about that one. That one was not my fault. They had an undisclosed debt that they added during the process, and I tried everything I could, but their DTI couldn't withstand it. And I hate it when that happens, because I tell people, don't apply for new debt, don't do this. But sometimes, I'm not gonna say that people don't listen, but I usually try to roll with the punches. I've had people who have lost their job while they were under contract, and we had to do some restructuring with some income that they've had to get them approved. But I do everything that I can, blood, sweat, and tears, to make sure that your loan, once I give you that pre-approval letter, we are closing. Like, that's it. As far as the time frame, if you do something, I will let you know. Look, hey, you wanted to start a new job, so you started this date. Okay, well, the guideline says you have to be working there 30 days prior to clear to close, so we're gonna need an extension. If they want to talk to me about it, they can talk to me. Most of the time, if anything happens during the mortgage process that is unfortunate, if you communicate, the sellers do not want to put their house back on the market and start this process all over again. If they understand what's going on, it is what it is. We'll address what needs to be addressed. But if you can't get to where you need to get for the pre-approval letter, if you can't give me what I want to get the pre-approval letter, if you can't give me what I want to get to the pre-approval letter, and you go under contract and the underwriter is requiring blood, sweat, and tears from you, and I'm telling you, hey, we need this, hey, we need that, hey, we need this, I don't leave my buyers confused. I will walk you through, hold your hand, hold my hand, and we're gonna get there. Because those people who trust me, listen. When they want to give up, I reassure them. I never give instructions, or even if I see, let's say, a processor or somebody reaches out to my buyer and maybe ask them for something, and they're just like, I have no idea how to get this. We're gonna get it. I'm gonna help you. That is my job. But you need to understand, like, when you're going through the process to obtain a mortgage, it's very serious. Like, we need all of your documents in order to make sure that your loan doesn't fall apart. And you all might be fine with that because you want to hear, oh yeah, I was pre-approved for $400,000. I was pre-approved for this. Pre-approval is fine, but we need you to close. We need to get you to the closing table. And that is more so what I'm concerned about. Like, I used to get excited on pre-approvals, but now I have to look at those pre-approvals as closings. If I give you a pre-approval and you come back to me, I need to know that you're gonna close. I don't wanna be, not saying that would be me, but sometimes people give pre-approval letters and just hope, like, okay, hopefully it closes. Hopefully we can get it to the closing table. No, we're beyond that. if you get a pre-approval letter from me, we're getting to the closing table. So with that being said, those emails that I get and it's like, do you have an update on my application? Do I have all of your documents? Ask yourself that, because if you send them to me, I have so much software where you can upload documents, you can email them. I have a fax number. There are so many ways to get all of your documents to me, and with technology, I don't have to be at my desk to see if you've sent your documents. So I'll look at you upload 1 or 2, 1 or 3. I'm not evaluating until I have all of your documents. And that's just period. So, and it's for the betterment of the team, betterment of the group. You know, real estate agents, they want to make sure that they are going out there and they're putting in these offers with solid pre-approval letters. I want to make sure if I am helping you that the real estate agent is not going to say, oh, Allison, she made my loan fall apart. Nope, nobody can say that about me. I don't want to put you in a bad situation. So it is just so important. And it doesn't matter because I'm still going to get questions until I retire my license. Can I get an update? Knowing good and well you did not send me any documents. So anyway, I love what I do, and hopefully I'll be able to come with more videos, different videos. Everyone is giving financial advice. I like to be more upfront, transparent with my advice, and just know homeownership is an attainable goal for anyone. You just have to make the necessary changes in order to get the keys. This was a long video. I think will probably be almost at about 30 minutes. And everyone enjoy their holiday. Happy holiday to you, your loved ones, Thanksgiving, all that fun stuff. If you're interested in mortgage pre-approval, please let me know. I'm licensed in Georgia and Texas. However, I can refer to other states. And just be cautious with these emails that you send. And make sure that you always send emails, because I love keeping a paper trail. Be professional at all times, all of the above. And this is your Chic Mortgage Millennial. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.